Hello, good morning, and welcome to today's Facecast. Imagine for a moment that you've been with Jesus all the time during his ministry, about 3 years or so. You've been following him around, you've heard what he's said and you've seen what he's done, and you've fallen in love with him. And you want to follow him, and you want to support him and be with him and encourage him. And difficult times come along, times when it looks like Jesus is going to be in trouble. This is the position that Peter is in. And I love Peter because he's a bit headstrong, is Peter. He tries to do the things first before thinking about them. I'm a bit guilty of that sometimes. And he's not all completely well-rounded character. He's not as theologically erudite as John is. He's not as clever as Luke the doctor is. Peter's the fisherman, the broad-shouldered, brawny, let's have a go type of chap. And difficult times are coming along. And Peter says to Jesus, Lord, I'm ready to go with you to prison and to death. And Jesus said to him, I tell you, Peter, before the rooster crows today, you will deny me 3 times that you know me. Before the rooster crows today, you will deny 3 times that you know me. So he's saying to Peter, you might think you're ready to support me and to face all the difficulties that I'm going to face, but I know what's going to happen. And in a very kind and gentle way, he lets Peter know that he knows what's going to happen. He knows what's going to happen to Peter, and he spells it out to him. You're going to let me down, Peter. I know this is going to happen. But he says it in such a loving way that he's not really rebuking Peter. He's just saying, no, you can't come with me. I've got to do this alone. I've got to go and face what I've got to face alone. It leaves Peter a bit unsure and a bit wondering what's going to happen, and he continues to stumble along following Jesus. But of course, it's Peter who, after Jesus' death on the cross and the resurrection, it's Peter who is the strong one who starts to build the church that Jesus heralded. So Peter is a key figure in the beginning of the church and the growth of the gospel. We can't ignore him. He's a wonderful character. It takes a lot of courage to be Peter, who's stumbling forward, pushing his way forward, encouraging and leading others. But he's a real champion of the times. But he doesn't know it all. He hasn't got it sussed. He doesn't know what's going on. I'll follow you, Lord, but I don't know what's going to happen. I'll follow you. Jesus says, no, wait. Sometimes we have to stop and think. And some things we have to face on our own. It's great to have your support and your encouragement, but I've got to do this on my own. I've got to do it with my Father in heaven. And I think we face those times at times, don't we? Times when we appreciate the support and the love and the care of others around us, but sometimes we've got to face it on our own, especially if there's illness at hand. We may have that appointment with the doctor who says, I'm afraid you've got, and we have to face it. We don't want to be alone, but at times when we're in our bed and thinking about things, praying about things, we feel all alone. We can draw upon strength from our Lord then, because he knows what it's like. He knows what it's like to be alone and facing death. And he faced that and went through it for our sakes. And he encouraged us to be around him and support him as much as we could, but not to have to go through it with him, just to be there alongside. And while we go through things, he is there alongside with us. That should be a great comfort to all of us. Certainly is to me. Certainly is at this time when we're facing difficulties and hardships. So remember that whatever you go through, our Lord has been through it beforehand, and he knows the way. See you soon. Bye now.